Been a little more than a year now since two of the biggest superstars in Hollywood, Brad Pitt.
No immediate comment from Pitt's attorney when they were approached for comment.
Brad Pitt, one of Hollywood's most celebrated actors, has always been known for his charm, talent, and magnetic presence on screen. But behind the glitz, the red carpets, and the magazine covers, there has been a chapter of his life filled with deep, enduring love. A love he now describes as the most significant of his life. At 61, Brad Pitt finally opened up about a relationship that left an indelible mark on his heart, confessing, "She was the love of my life." Fans and media alike have followed Brad's romances over the years. From his high-profile marriage to Jennifer Aniston to his passionate and tumultuous relationship with Angelina Jolie. Yet, in a rare moment of candid reflection, Brad revealed a connection that transcended fame, fortune, and Hollywood drama. This was a bond built on genuine emotion, shared experiences, and a deep understanding that few could truly grasp. What makes this confession extraordinary is not just the romance itself, but the timing. At a stage in life when many reflect on career achievements and personal growth, Brad Pitt is openly acknowledging the emotional weight of a love that shaped him in profound ways. It's a story of joy, heartbreak, and lessons learned, a reminder that even those who seem to have it all are deeply affected by the people they truly care about. So, who is this mysterious woman who captured Brad's heart so completely? What made their connection so unforgettable? And how did this love influence the man Brad Pitt became, both on and off the screen? Stay with us, because the story behind this confession is as intimate as it is revealing. A glimpse into the heart of one of Hollywood's greatest stars. Before Brad Pitt became one of Hollywood's most sought-after actors, he was just a young man from Missouri chasing a dream. He arrived in Los Angeles with little more than ambition and a handful of dollars in his pocket, taking odd jobs, even dressing as a chicken for a fast food chain, just to stay afloat. But behind that charming smile and calm demeanor was a romantic at heart, someone who believed deeply in connection, loyalty, and love. As fame began to find him, Brad quickly became the face of a new generation of leading men. Roles in Thelma and Louise, Legends of the Fall, and A River Runs Through It turned him into a global sensation. Yet for all the spotlight and admiration, Brad was still searching for something real. A love that went beyond the superficial world of Hollywood. That search led him through several relationships. But there was one woman who stood out. One who truly understood the man behind the movie star. Their connection wasn't built on glamour or status, but on deep emotional intimacy. Friends who knew Brad at the time said he was different around her, calmer, more thoughtful, more grounded. It was as if she saw through the Hollywood illusion and into the soul of the man behind the fame. This relationship came during a period when Brad was still figuring out who he wanted to be. He was balancing the demands of an exploding career with the desire for a private life. The woman by his side offered him comfort, stability, and a sense of normalcy that fame often steals away. Together they shared quiet moments, late-night talks, small adventures away from the cameras, and a mutual respect that went far beyond the physical. But Hollywood has a way of testing even the strongest bonds. Constant travel, the scrutiny of tabloids, and the pressure to maintain an image made their love difficult to sustain. Yet, even as their paths eventually diverged, Brad carried the memory of that connection with him. Years later, in interviews, he would hint that not all great loves end in marriage. Some simply stay with you, shaping who you become. At 61, when Brad Pitt finally admitted, "She was the love of my life," many assumed he was, referring to one of his famous relationships, Jennifer Aniston or Angelina Jolie. But those close to him say this confession wasn't about publicity or nostalgia. It was about the one relationship that defined his understanding of love itself. This was the woman who saw him before the world did, before the awards, before the fame, before the heartbreak. She believed in him not as a celebrity, but as a man. And for Brad, that kind of love leaves a mark you can't erase. In many ways, this early connection set the tone for the rest of his romantic life. It taught him that real love isn't about appearances or perfection. It's about vulnerability, trust, and the quiet moments when two people simply understand each other. Brad may have loved and lost, but this first deep love became the foundation for everything that followed. As we continue, we'll explore how his later relationships, especially with Jennifer Aniston and Angelina Jolie, reflected the lessons he learned from that one unforgettable woman. Because sometimes, the love that shapes you the most isn't the one that lasts forever, but the one that teaches you what love truly means. After that formative relationship, Brad Pitt entered Hollywood's romantic spotlight with new experiences, both uplifting and painful. Fame added layers of complexity to his love life, and every romance seemed magnified by the public eye. From the outside, it looked like Brad had it all: charm, talent, and adoration. But inside, he was still carrying the emotional lessons from the woman who first showed him what true love felt like. His high-profile relationship with Jennifer Aniston in the late 1990s appeared, at the time, to be the perfect Hollywood pairing. They were the golden couple, charismatic, attractive, and seemingly in love. Yet even with the public's adoration and media frenzy surrounding their relationship, Brad found himself reflecting on the early love that had shaped his understanding of connection. He realized that no amount of glamour or red carpet appearances could replace the depth and authenticity he had once known. The relationship with Jennifer, while full of affection, eventually highlighted another important lesson. Love alone is not always enough. Compatibility, timing, and shared growth matter just as much. Brad and Jennifer ultimately parted ways, a split that shocked fans, but underscored the reality that celebrity relationships often carry pressures ordinary couples never face. The heartbreak was real, but it also reinforced what he had learned years before: the value of honesty, emotional availability, and the rare bond of a partner who truly sees you. Soon after, Brad's relationship with Angelina Jolie brought a different kind of intensity. Their love was passionate, adventurous, and deeply public. It spanned continents, humanitarian work, and even the forming of a large family. Yet despite all the romance and excitement, Brad continued to carry the memory of his first deep love, the woman who understood him before the world did. That early experience informed how he approached this relationship, with heightened awareness of trust, communication, and emotional depth. Friends close to Brad say that even amidst the whirlwind of Jolie Pitt life, he often reflected on the lessons of his early love. He became more patient, more introspective, and more attuned to what a partner truly needed beyond material comfort or public attention. The confession at 61, "She was the love of my life," wasn't just nostalgia. It was a recognition that the foundation of his understanding of love had been laid long before Hollywood's bright lights and media frenzy. Brad's reflections also reveal the subtle but profound influence of that first relationship on his career and life choices. He realized that fame and success, while rewarding, cannot substitute for emotional authenticity. In interviews, he often hinted that the woman who first captured his heart taught him patience, resilience, and the importance of emotional honesty, lessons he carried into every relationship afterward. Ultimately, Brad Pitt's romantic journey shows that love is never simple. It is shaped by early experiences, marked by mistakes, and illuminated by moments of clarity. The woman he called the love of his life may not have remained by his side publicly, but her influence is unmistakable. In his relationships, in his understanding of himself, and in the way he cherishes meaningful connections. Next, we'll explore Part 3, the confession that shocked the world, revealing the story behind Brad Pitt's heartfelt revelation at 61 and why it matters so deeply. At 61, Brad Pitt's heartfelt confession took the world by surprise. "She was the love of my life." Fans instantly speculated about who he was referring to: Jennifer Aniston, Angelina Jolie, or even someone completely unknown to the public. But those close to Brad say this statement wasn't made lightly. It reflected a lifelong understanding of love, shaped by both public and private experiences. The confession was candid, intimate, and revealing. Unlike typical celebrity remarks, it wasn't tied to nostalgia, publicity, or image management. It was an acknowledgement of someone who left a permanent imprint on his heart, a love that had taught him lessons he would carry forever. For Brad, This was the woman who showed him emotional vulnerability, patience, and authenticity long before he navigated Hollywood's complex romantic landscape. Friends say that this early love influenced every significant relationship he had afterward. With Jennifer Aniston, Brad approached love with awareness, striving to balance emotional intimacy with the pressures of public life. Their connection, while strong, highlighted the challenges of fame and timing. Yet the lessons from his first love helped him navigate heartbreak with grace. He learned how to respect boundaries, communicate more effectively, and cherish moments of genuine connection, even in the face of public scrutiny. Similarly, his relationship with Angelina Jolie was informed by that foundational love. The intensity, passion, and devotion he displayed were tempered by the wisdom he gained from early heartbreak. He knew how to balance affection with understanding, admiration with patience, and closeness with space, skills cultivated by the woman who had first taught him the depth of love. Brad's confession also underscored a universal truth. The love that shapes you is not always the one that lasts forever. Sometimes the most influential relationships are the ones that teach you resilience, self-awareness, and the meaning of connection. For Brad Pitt, acknowledging this love publicly was a moment of vulnerability that few expected, but everyone respected. The timing of the confession added emotional weight. At 61, Brad is reflective, evaluating life, career, and the relationships that truly matter. He has experienced immense highs and lows in both his professional and personal life. Yet despite all the fame, wealth, and acclaim, it's the quiet, transformative love that he remembers most vividly. It is a reminder that even Hollywood icons are human, that their hearts carry the same longing, reflection, and reverence for deep connection as anyone else. Fans were moved because this confession shattered the typical celebrity narrative. It wasn't about glamour, image, or drama. It was about the essence of love itself. Brad Pitt was openly acknowledging that someone, long before he became a household name, had profoundly impacted his life. And in doing so, he reminded the world that love is not measured by longevity, publicity, or fanfare, but by its ability to shape, teach, and endure in the heart. Next, we'll explore Part 4, Life Lessons and Moving Forward. How Brad's understanding of love has influenced his life, relationships, and personal growth, and why this confession continues to resonate with millions.